Oh yeah, thanks for tuning in, Butler, Mariella. Good to see you, Dar. What's up, Perry County, Debbie? What's up, Justin? Other platform. I think you got one person on. Yes. If you could share around, man, these glasses are dirty. Love you guys. Great to be with you. That's funny, Dar. Bringing you back. Oh, other ones online and on fire. Melissa, Jed, Jen, Shelly, Evelyn, RJ. What is up? Kuan Yin 15, Ann, Vicky, and Terry. I love you guys. It's worth saying hi to you people. I know folks who just come in like, what's he doing? It's about the people. Amanda, great to see you. And Melissa and Shelly, what's up? Bonnie is in the house, Katanning Village. Well, it was the village back in 1700s when Rebbe's ancestors went through there as captives. Rosa from Strasbourg, what's going on? Rob. Whoa. All right. Okay, short. This will be short. Got to get back in the saddle like most of you have to there. Okay, so medical freedom, that's out. People are asking about the passports and what have you. Yeah, wouldn't that be a violation of HIPAA? We talk a lot about that. Last year we debated that when the governor is only releasing data by county. And so the president and myself both had similar ideas on HIPAA. And anyway, medical passports, would that be a violation of HIPAA? Anyway, just wondering. So must get COVID shot for something that has a 99% survival rate. It seems a little bit heavy-handed here. But the bottom line, any decision you have about going in your body is private and personal and should not be dictated by the government. It's the same government, by the way, that thought it was a good idea to send COVID positives back to nursing homes in Pennsylvania and New York and New Jersey and Michigan and California. So do you want to trust your most personal medical decisions in the hands of these people that obviously oftentimes politically driven or just make mistakes? And that's a heck of a price to pay if you or a loved one, or especially a child, has a reaction. To treat one size fits all, as this governor has, Pennsylvania, in his shutdown over the past year, to treat each person as if they're going to have the same reaction or no reaction to any inoculation is just scientifically baseless. Each person is a distinct individual. They have different reactions to viruses, to flus, to COVID, or to a vaccination. So the decision needs to be yours. Medical freedom. This is America. You should have freedom. And for those that I cannot believe that there's even arguments on our side how those who don't take who want to have informed consent or putting other people at risk. Look, if you get the vaccination, what do you have to worry about then, right? And it's those, I guess, those who don't take the vaccination put themselves at risk. Just think about that scientifically and logically. You're not put at risk if you get the shot, according to the reasoning and logic put forth there. You'll be impervious to that. You'll have antibodies, just as anyone who has recovered from COVID-19. The major variant that we've been fighting against. And just like with the flu, there's going to be variants of it, and the subsequent variants tend to be weaker, according to the scientists and experts, than the original virus. People will still sadly have severe reactions, and God forbid, maybe even pass away from even the weaker variants. It just depends. It just depends on you and the reaction, your body, your antibodies, whether you have pre-existing conditions, how healthy you are. I mean, all these things factor in. You hear stories, of course, of people in excellent shape passing away from COVID. And we don't have the specifics on that because their privacy is protected, but each person has a distinct reaction. So I have introduced medical freedom to Pennsylvania, and let's pray that it gets passed. And it would be a good idea, if you believe in it, that you contact your reps or senators, and of course, always be respectful. If you believe in it, you can have, or if you don't, you can tell your reps and senators it's a terrible idea, and vote against it. So Michelle says she had the flu this year. It looked like the flu all but vanished this year, huh? So what's up with that? Hardly any cases. Hmm, it's a miracle. Thank you, Angel, the Jesus top fan. Dodie, what's going on? Yeah, what other side effects? Ashley Puglisi, top fan. And she's right, vaccines only provide protection for one strain. That's right. And so when we get the vaccine for the flu, and it's mandated in Department of Defense, and they're obviously taking a guess at which strain will be the one that circulates, in the flu season, or what we have now, a COVID season. But according to the experts, I mean, we have one version from Fauci and another version from other experts saying the antibodies normally stay in you, depending on what strain you have there, for sometimes for a lifetime. So we're not getting full answers, and you should be able to make a decision without being called names, without being mocked, without being castigated or pushed aside. You're not a denier. You're not an anti-vaxxer. Stop the name calling. If you do, if you want to have the vaccination, take it, but don't mock those who want to have an informed consent, who want to make their own decision. In the military, many of us have had, we're like pin cushions, and you don't have a right to, if it's not optional, you don't have a right to say no. And even for experimental stuff that was out there, not fully vetted or what have you. And so even signing a waiver saying you're taking it voluntarily, in a combat zone, like you're going to say no and find yourself, in trouble with your commander, or maybe even court-martialed. As one soldier did back in the 90s when he didn't want the anthrax shot. I think that was the 3rd Infantry Division down at Fort Stewart, Georgia. So we got all kinds of stuff without much say, and some of the stuff has had severe reactions on some of us, including myself. And so I'm a firm believer in you should have the last word, what goes in your body and that of your children as well. And you should not suffer consequences, mocking, bullying, threats, or name calling by anyone, especially anyone in the medical field. They should be empathetic to you, and they need to stop, castigating people who want to make an informed decision. This is America, after all. And don't forget, governments, have sterilized groups of people, including our own government, and done experiments. Remember the Marines and soldiers at the nuclear tests. Where was that? New Mexico, setting off, a tactical nuke, and then having our men walk towards. Of course, they responded to that. They had them cover their faces and look away because the flash could blind you. Then walking, towards the radiation, and just ridiculous stuff. So this is history. It's facts. And anyway, you should be able to make your own decision without being coerced or threatened or bullied or name called. So that's what medical freedom's about. So yes, Rachel, it should be a choice. Okay, what else do we have here? I do. Thank you, Casey. Yeah, I appreciate your guys' prayers. Obviously, stepping out, as I have, is drawing a lot of fire, castigation, all kinds of ridiculous articles, outright lies that are out there. And it's disheartening, of course, to see these things, in black and white. And, they're completely just out and out wrong. And there needs to be responsibility in the media. There is responsibility of the First Amendment. I'm not so sure, obviously being a public figure makes it a bit harder for me to navigate litigation, but if anyone has any suggestions, I'd appreciate it. It's medical freedom, not anti-vaccine. That's right. That's right. I agree. Force compliance. Yeah, Heather Lynn, I agree. Uh, anyway, Mark, I don't. We see lots of rumors about travel cards. I don't know where this is going. It's a bit over the top. Michael says, as a top fan, is asking how you show support. You contact your representative and say, I like this legislation or I don't. That's and obviously always, as you are and will be, always respectful and kind to anyone you engage, whether the governor, acting secretary of health, secretary of ag, we can make our point. We can disagree without being disagreeable, as we often say. Anyway. So thank you, Sue, for your prayer cover. It's very much appreciated. John, what's up? Thank you, John. One of the few genuine people in politics. Spread the word. There's lots of Julie is right. In that vein, it's hard to deal with gossip and lies. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. Yeah, Paula, I know. Emily says the governor of Florida is taking executive action against passports. Thank you, Dar. You guys are fantastic. Yes, Cheryl, you're a great champion and hero. Thank you. Yep, Jen, that's right. I agree. So anyway, that's a hot topic right now. I'm trying to think there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, we do post my interviews so you can see where I stand. They are posted to the Senate page, or it's very appropriate because it's always dovetails with legislation or what I'm doing for my constituents. So you probably saw the very good interview that discussion I had with Jenna Ellis. Very informed academic discussion of elections and what sort of reform we need. And that was a great discussion. And I think it really, we're trying to find a better way to post it because it's broken up in three pieces. Also, we have, thank you, Tracy, for that reminder. We have the Heartbeat Bill was reintroduced. Myself and Senator Junie Ward in the Senate are co-priming the reintroduction of legislation with identical legislation introduced by Representative Stephanie Borowitz from Lock Haven area. And if you hear a heartbeat, you hear a life. It's science, it's common sense, it's logic, and it's reason. You have a medical emergency, first responders come, they check for a heartbeat, a pulse. If they don't hear one, there's no life. If they hear one, there's always hope in life. So should it be, and thus it is scientifically and academically with a baby in the womb. Apparently, the heartbeat comes around week 6 or so. Look, I'm from conception, but we're trying to move this in the right direction. So anyway, science is on our side. Anyway, that's funny, Jed. Oh, Ginny, election reform. We got a long way for that. Thank you, Mary Carlson. Top fan +1. Don't see a lot of top fan +1s. Deb, also from Mercer County family. Good to see you. So several bills have been introduced. I introduced poll watcher protection that ups the ante if people are going to be excluded from observing in a close proximity ballots, like what we saw in Philly, from 50 feet, 100 feet away with binoculars. Really, that's not it. And then it ups the penalties legally. Anyone violates those rules, of course, together with Senator Pat Stefano. Mail-in balloting was turned on its head by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, so that needs to go. If that fails, we have Senator Junie Ward's restoration. I'll call it Restoration Act that restores the voting reform to where it was before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court weighed in. Sadly, a lot of these issues could have been dealt with, I think, by the U.S. Supreme Court hearing the Texas case, which, of course, they didn't on a technicality, and of which almost the entire Republican Senate caucus did an amicus to in support of. So that's a shame. That needed to be adjudicated, and I think because of that, anything we do in voting reform in Pennsylvania will become a legal issue, will be reinterpreted potentially by our Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and will have to go, up to the U.S. Supreme Court since these issues have not been addressed. So, answer your question straight up. House is doing a masterful, magnificent, thorough job on what happened in 2020, and then they're going to look at that published report on what needs to happen to safeguard elections in the future. The Senate began hearings about 2 weeks ago on the election, and so anyway, don't expect any action on that until the summer after the reports are issued by the House and Senate respectively on their findings, and then I believe we'll see movement. I wish it was sooner. I don't know that we really have to wait for the reports. We know much of what went wrong and what went right, and so anyway, that's that. So thanks everybody for tuning in. That's a quick rundown. There's a lot more to talk about. We'll hit on those this week. I do get a lot of private messages and on my Facebook pages or elsewhere, people asking these sorts of questions that I answer every night online. So I encourage people just to tune into the lives. Then anyway, yeah. Oh well. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We appreciate you. We're praying a blessing over everyone out there in Jesus' name. Remembering who we are, remembering where we came from, and remembering where we're headed. I have a copy of one of William Penn's first books, No Cross, No Crown, I think it's called, or No Crown, No Cross. Anyway, it looks like an interesting read. It's good to see where our founder came from, and not forgetting that he was a Quaker who was tossed in jail for his religious beliefs. And as a result of that, when Pennsylvania, Penn's Woods was founded, it was with an eye on freedom. You can live your life as you see fit. And it's too bad a lot of these freedoms have been stripped away over the recent months. And these freedoms we were told were God-given. And so just remember, we walk as free people. And John 8:36 and the new Senate Bill 836 is to reopen Pennsylvania. If Jesus set you free, you're free indeed. So that's where walk as free people comes from. So thank you, my friends, for tuning in. Hopefully see you around, and look forward to talking to you tomorrow for another quick update. God bless you guys, and see you later.